wonderful things.
You know what I just realized?
Huh.
So when doing this room kind of echoes. I'm kind of wondering if my laugh will be on your speaker too. I wonder how that's going to sound.
That's going to be funny. We should have done a hot take of that real quick, like a little like video. You laugh and then we could see.
Okay, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the movies first? Do you want to start with our trip first? What do you want to do?
I don't know.
All of my notes are on my phone, by the
Great, Mary.
way.
It's fine. I think we should start with the movies and discuss that, and then we'll go into
I want your opinion on this.
So I remember Twilight when it came out, and like that was
I think we should explain that like you and I have totally different backgrounds.
This is true.
Completely different backgrounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I wasn't homeschooled.
I was homeschooled for part of my school career. I think up until high school. And then I was homeschooled.
Yeah.
For my high school career.
Yeah.
I was homeschooled. But for most of it, I went to a Christian school.
Mm-hmm. I was in public school through and through the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I went to a Christian preschool, but like that's so young.
Who even remembers that?
Right, exactly. So I wasn't homeschooled, but I vividly remember Twilight coming out, and like that was everyone's jam. This was before everyone hated Twilight, when everyone was obsessed and loved. You didn't get made fun of for liking Twilight.
Right.
Like, everyone loved it.
Right.
So I've always had a love for Twilight because of that. So I've just been like back here in my own little business, loving Twilight.
Yeah. And then I came in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically Jade first, but whatever.
Good enough.
I came along. I was the plus one. No, just kidding. No. And then, was it this last fall?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Was it fall or spring?
It was this last fall. It was like the first like real like dreary rainy day.
Yeah.
You texted me and said we should watch Twilight.
I want to watch Twilight with you.
Yeah. And I was like, bet. I had just actually started my yearly Twilight rewatch. And I was like, bet, I'm watching it right now. And so you came over.
And then we just watched it together.
And we were like
we only did it 2 days. We did a marathon.
We
2 days.
2 days.
We watched 3 movies the first day, right? It was Twilight, New Moon, and Eclipse. And then the last 2, they're long.
Yeah.
And so we watched the last 2 on a different day.
We did. And it was like,
mind you, it was like months apart. It was like,
well, because we wanted to watch them, and then they took them off of Hulu. So we had to find them again.
Well, that's true. That's true. And then we had to buy Peacock, and then
she did.
Yeah, I did. I did, yes. But
and then we watched the last 2, but it was like halfway through the third. We were making fun of it in our own like commentary. We were like, we should just set up a camera and make fun of Twilight,
or just anything in general. But it started off with Twilight.
It did.
So that's why we're starting their first one with
Twilight, obviously. So that's where all this started. Yes. And we were like, oh, and then it was our trip to Forks really nailed it. We were like, yeah, we're definitely talking about this online.
Yeah. So we did a day trip, very long day trip. We live in Washington State, but we live far away from Forks.
Like 7 hours, 6.5, 7.
Yeah, something like that.
One way.
I mean, I made it in about 5, but
you did. We're not talking about that. We're not. Yeah.
But anyways,
Mom and Dad, if you're watching, she was a safe driver.
I am a very safe driver.
Yeah, I mean, your car has sport mode for a reason, right?
Exactly. Which is the dumbest thing, because I'm like, I was telling them a story the other day, and this person was like tailgating me, and I was like, bet. So I stuck it in sports mode. And when you think like, oh, I stuck it in sports mode, you like flip gears and you like, do this. No, I go, bink, sports mode, and then I just took off. Dumbest thing.
Has it for a reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, we made it to Forks, and I guess we're talking about our trip first. But it wasn't really all it's cracked up to be.
Forks was kind of ghetto, I'm not gonna lie.
It was. The weather was beautiful though.
Gorgeous.
Stunning.
Like when you think of Forks, you think of either Twilight or just raining all the time. No, it was sunshiny. It was a good like 65, 70 degrees.
There were firefighters doing a car wash in the middle of Forks. That's how warm it was.
Yes.
So
yeah,
very tight t-shirts.
Yeah,
but beside the point.
That was on purpose.
Oh, obviously, what t-shirt contest? Okay. So, yeah, Forks was ghetto. We couldn't find a bathroom. There was one public restroom in the park, and it was closed.
It was closed
due to vandalism
and drugs.
Yeah. So we had to go to a gas station,
which was.
And it was.
Nasty.
I wish I would have taken a picture. We could pop it
nasty.
up right
here. Ooh, no one wants to see that. I'm sure they can imagine.
Yeah. Just think of like a very typical gas station bathroom.
Forks, okay, I guess Forks wasn't technically ghetto. It was very white trash. There's a difference between ghetto and white trash.
This is true.
It was very white trash. It was an old logging farm, an old logging town.
Yeah.
My dad, her father-in-law, and her husband lived up there for a short period of time. Or how long was it?
I don't know. It wasn't. I mean, long enough. He went to kindergarten there. Jade did. So. We're not quite for certain on the timeline of that, right? But they talked about how rainy it was, and how we weren't gonna like it because of the weather. And we get there, we're taking selfies to send to them. The sun is shining. Yeah. There's birds out, and they were like, "What the heck?"
Well, one day out of the year, apparently, it's like that. And we went on the one day.
Yeah, which was Memorial Day weekend, as well.
Yeah, it was busy in Forks, as to be expected. It's a holiday weekend. But we went to La Push. Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
That was
the
stunning.
Best part of the trip, I think. The drive was great. Washington in general is just beautiful. But La Push was gorgeous.
It was.
It was sunshiny. It was beautiful. I'll put pictures up for you guys to see. Oh my goodness.
The ocean was wonderful.
People were surfing even with the riptide. It was like surf on your own whatever.
They had Airbnbs on the beach. So you could literally, like, if you wanted one, you could sit like on your back deck and look at the beach or go surf like Mary said. It was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Stunning.
People were just lounging.
Kids were playing in the sand. It was great.
In the sand. It was beautiful.
I think the highlight, though, and our favorite part were those burgers.
Oh my gosh.
Was it Three Rivers? Is that the name of it? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was. Was it Three Rivers?
Was it? I can't remember.
I have the receipt in my purse. It's in the other room.
If it's not Three Rivers, we will include the name.
Yeah, we'll include the name and what we got. You got the, what was it? It was the ham and something.
Yeah, the ham and something. And you got the werewolf.
I got the werewolf. It was so good, though. It was so good.
So good. That was
delicious.
Yeah, I would go back just for that burger.
For sure. And it was just beautiful. Like the forests. I mean, what is the forest name? We were laughing literally like half the way there, only because of the stupid name. I didn't know that there was a forest.
Yeah, it's literally a national forest. It's the Hoa National Forest. HOH National Forest. And so I knew, and I assumed she knew. So we passed the first sign for it, and I start singing the intro to Twilight.
She's like, "Look!" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
And so I pulled it up on the GPS, and I was like, "The National Forest." It was great.
Dumb as crap.
So many people go over there camping for that, though.
Right.
It was great.
Just for the name.
Just for the name. I love it. Same, though.
Oh, man. Apparently Bigfoot's up there in the Hoa Forest.
I mean, finding Bigfoot? Our next grand adventure?
Is it Bigfoot or is it Jacob? Sorry. I had to.
How many metal cutouts of Bigfoot do you think they have there? So
every single driveway had one. Every single driveway.
Yeah. So many. There were
so many. It's either on the driveway or on the barn door.
You got to capitalize off of it. What else are they known for? Twilight? I mean,
right? Everyone to be associated with that up there.
Everyone hated it.
Everyone, yeah.
They saw our shirts and they were literally rolling their eyes so hard. I thought it was going to get stuck in the back of their heads.
Oh my gosh.
That
I did not see any eye rolls, but I'm also very oblivious to other people because I don't care. Yeah. So
I was making direct eye contact with people unintentionally.
Not me. I don't make direct eye contact with people I don't know.
I accidentally do, and
unless I'm talking to them. If I'm talking to them, I try to make direct eye contact.
That's fair. That's fair. It's great. It's a great time.
Oh my gosh! But that trip was nice. The drive there, we left really early, and the drive there was perfect.
That Starbucks, though.
Where was that?
Starbucks It was on the Washington side because we went down to Oregon through Portland. It was over by Vancouver. I want to say above Vancouver.
It was ways. So nice. They must have been there. All of those buildings in the area that we went to were brand new. Like they were still working on buildings, and that Starbucks must have been brand spanking new.
Yeah, it was great.
The women in there were so sweet.
Oh, they loved our shirts.
And they loved our shirts. Whether they were being sarcastic or not, we don't know. But that's okay.
I mean, I'm going to take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
They took the time to mention it, so...
Exactly.
Who's going to hate?
Exactly. So, it was just, yeah.
That was another highlight. That and the burgers.
The food.
The food.
Love it. The food and drinks.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So, I don't know. I think, would you go back? Honestly, like if we had like a girls' weekend and it was like we wanted to go somewhere like a getaway, stay the weekend.
So we're staying up there.
Yeah. Like if we got
La Push, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. I would totally go back to La Push.
Honestly, if we went back up there, I would stay in La Push, but I would want to take like an afternoon maybe and walk through Forks and like go see the back streets, the houses.
I think
stuff like that.
My dad bought his first house up there. And he was like, "Oh, did you stop by?" And I'm like, "No, you never told me where it was." He also talked about the mill that he used to work at, and then the school.
The school, yeah.
And we frankly just didn't either. Well, he never told us where the house was.
Yeah.
And I don't remember him telling me where the...
I just remember we drove around La Push taking pictures of things we thought were the school.
I have all of that. We were looking a little sketch.
They built a new one, so they must be doing well up there. That was a gorgeous new school.
Huge.
Yeah.
It was not next to the beach though.
No.
The preschool
Yeah, I think so. Kindergarten, preschool.
Somewhere.
Usually the same.
Young.
Yeah. The young peoples.
They went to the native school.
Yeah. Yep. That's on
the Native American land, school. And they that school was like right on the beach. Which, if the building that we laid eyes on,
I think
it was not right next to the beach, but it was close enough. Like they could easily walk.
Yeah. Well, and
it's like right there. Like you could see it from the school, but Dad was talking about like it was like on the beach, like they could toss a stone into the water kind of thing.
Right. They could have moved it as well. That's a very common thing.
Like moved the whole building?
Yeah. People do that. You know that, right? People move whole houses, Mary.
I mean, if it's a mobile home.
No. People will literally pick up. Oh my god. Anyway, moving on. It's gonna make me mad.
Okay. Yes, I knew that, but most of the time around here, it's like sheds and stuff, not actually homes.
What do you mean? I just saw someone move a house down in Ty Valley. They were moving literally a whole farmhouse.
Oh.
Across Ty Valley.
Joke's on me?
Yeah. Anyway. Forks was La Push, wonderful.
La Push is gorgeous.
Definitely would go back.
Granted, we didn't go into any buildings in La Push. We just saw the beach. Granted, that's like all you want to do over there anyways, but
that's all there is.
So pretty.
So now on to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Do you have a favorite movie out of all
I was going to ask you that. Yeah. I mean, I think my favorite ones is probably Eclipse and the Breaking Dawns.
I gotta be honest, this is gonna be a hot take right now. Twilight, the original,
the original, really
my favorite, yeah, because it's just so awkward.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Great. That's what makes it great. It's because none of these actors were taking it serious. They never thought that this was gonna blow up as big as it did. I guarantee you.
I don't know.
That's why it's my favorite.
I think that the first movie, it's good in its own way. But for an actual, for a movie, I would say Eclipse or The Breaking Dawns. The Breaking Dawn 2, that, if you haven't seen it, so sorry. But the ending, I remember watching that for the first time.
That's true. That's true.
And I was watching it with my parents, and they were finally actually, letting me watch the whole thing, with them.
I love it.
But granted, they stopped watching it. Did she have Renesmee Breaking Dawn 1?
Yeah.
Okay. They did not finish watching this series after that birth scene. Do you want to call that a birth scene?
Yeah, basically.
They didn't finish it because Removal. Oh man, that's bad.
It's the truth. Did they not?
What is it called? I wasn't birthed. I was
removed,
evacated, or something like that.
Yeah. Evicted.
Eviction notice.
Anyways, rock eviction.
So when they had watched it, they didn't let me watch it when they first watched the movies. But when they had first watched these, they stopped at Breaking Dawn 1 because my mom didn't like that birth scene or whatever you want to call it.
That's fair. I mean, it was.
She was like,
traumatizing.
Yeah, she was like, no, it's disgusting, horrible. Fair enough. It is really weird. Like that whole scene is just
didn't make sense. I want to read that scene in the books and see how that translates.
Right? It could be like
complete opposite.
Yeah.
What if it's word for word exactly how the movie? I'd be like, oh, Stephanie Myers, what you doing, girl?
Do you think she was ever on something whilst writing these books?
You know, I've wondered that for years.
Because there's something, well, the movies at least, we haven't read the books, but the movies at least, like, I mean, she had to, like, approve it, right?
Yeah, well, she has to be on scene. Yeah. She had a hand in every aspect, hands down. The wigs, the costumes, that blue filter, all of it.
Those wigs, man. Those wigs.
Ooh, they did not get better as the movies went on.
No, they got worse.
Yeah. Sad.
Especially for Mr. Cullen. Cullen?
Carlisle?
Yeah. Carlisle? Mr. Cullen. Yeah, the Cullens.
Mr. Cullen, yeah. Poor guy.
Poor man. Anyways. No, but after going back to my original story, my parents had watched it through Breaking Dawn 1. And then when I was old enough that they'd let me watch, we watched all of them, and I was like, let's watch the last one. And they were like, okay, so we watched that last one all together. Ooh. And I just remember watching that fight scene at the end, and then all of a sudden it changes. I was blown away. I do remember being genuinely like, that was good.
That's fair.
That was really good.
That was tastefully done. I'll give you that.
Yeah. It was because at the end, no one died.
Yeah. That's true.
Spoiler alert.
Years later, but spoiler alert.
I know, if you haven't watched it at this point, what are you doing?
Yeah, what the hell? You've definitely seen clips online.
You've get a life. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. So I would say.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. So now the ultimate end of time question. Edward or Jacob?
Jacob, 100%.
Right?
Absolutely.
Ugh. Her and I have had lengthy discussions. Like, I feel like half of our drive to Forks was why Jacob is better than Edward.
I actually saw a reel on Instagram, I think this morning or yesterday, of like Bella's life if she chose Jacob. Have you seen that?
I've only seen the parodies of it.
Oh my gosh. It wasn't a parody. It was like an aesthetic. Like clips genuine. Clips of pictures.
I bet it was a wonderful life.
Oh my gosh. I was like, it was like so nice and warm and cozy and like.
They would have grown old together.
I know.
Not with Eddie. So I have the whole timeline of Twilight written down here.
Really?
Yeah. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a whole breakdown somebody did. I didn't do this. Reddit did, not me.
Reddit.
I looked it up and it was like, boop, Reddit. And I was like, thank you. So Bella moves to Forks January 17th of 2005. She meets Edward January 18th, 2005, which they didn't even give her one day to settle in. She moved in and Charlie said, get to school. You're late. Bit rude. But she starts dating Edward March 8th. So a fair bit of time passes.
Okay. Is this part of the books? Like, is this like
this is all of it?
No, I meant like, is this the timeline that is following the books, or is this the timeline that's following the movie?
So the movie follows.
I mean, I think it's finding it again. Just hold it down, I think.
My bad. If you can't hear me the rest of the time, that's definitely.
Here. I'm just turning it off and turning it back on. Hopefully I can find it. Yep, we're good.
Okay. So the movies follows the books. So this is the books, but the movie's on the same timeline. Stephanie Myers, I'm pretty sure has confirmed that. Don't take my word though. but I'm pretty sure it's all the same
Okay.
timeline.
Okay.
So they start dating March 8th. Edward leaves and breaks up with Bella September 16th after 192 days of dating. He breaks up with her. And
Very specific.
Right? And then Bella doesn't save Edward until March 20th, 2006.
Oh, shoot. So he was gone for like...
Ever.
I mean, it did go through that, like, very dramatic...
Which, that
role.
was tastefully done.
That was very tastefully done. But
moving
she left her father.
So that's another hot take. In the books, it goes into detail what happened in those months. And I did read something.
Pisses me off.
That says when Edward comes back, Jacob, in his mind, every time he's around Edward, goes through that reel of what Bella was like to torture Edward. Jacob does. And I'm like, good for him.
Yeah.
Don't let Edward live it down.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Mm-hmm. My thing, though, is that she left her father in that state. How selfish. That is so selfish.
This is true.
You, like, even in the movie, you could see him, like, building a snowman in the back when he's, like, when it's wintertime.
Trying to cheer her
up. Like, he's, like, trying to, like...
Well, and I guess in the books, Charlie's, like, kneeling beside her, begging her. Like, full tears and everything. It goes into detail describing all that. And I'm like, it makes me hate Bella more. I'm not even gonna lie. She's my least favorite character.
No, actually. How... Over a man.
Yeah.
That's what... So dumb.
I agree.
So dumb.
So, yeah.
So dumb.
It is. So Edward leaves. And then Bella saves Edward March 20th. So, like, all that time,
Leaves her father without telling where she's going.
First of all, I know, right?
Poor Charlie. Poor Charlie.
This whole time, everyone's just been like,
I love Charlie to death. Love that man. He's like... And he actually kind of remind me of Dad a little bit.
I know.
But I think that's just the mustache. Let's be real here.
Must be, honestly.
And he's a good dad.
Yeah. Honestly, love Charlie. The one scene that captured my heart for Charlie was in the movies when I think it's James is tracking Bella and she's like, I just have to go. And he's like, let's figure it out. Like, what do you need? And she's like, I have to go be with my mom. And he's just like, okay. He's just like, whatever you need, Bella.
I know.
What a supportive
dad. He was willing to let his daughter go for her to be happy. Ugh. Poor Charlie.
So, anyway, Bella saves Edward. They start dating again on March 22nd. So she makes him wait 2 whole days. She's like, no, that's like the trip back for her. She's like, don't talk to me on this flight. The moment they land in Forks, she's like, oh, I love you.
I love you.
What? Dumb. They get married August 13th of 2006. And then I have here written trauma birth / vampirism. I don't know what else to call it. Eviction. That happens September 13th. So very quickly after they're married.
Oh, shoot. They did not enjoy their honeymoon for very long, did they?
No. The entire...
Weren't they supposed to be there for like a month, or did I just read? Or
I think so. I don't know. But she couldn't wait. She couldn't.
No, she couldn't. My thing is that, well, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that she was supposed to stay there for a month because she had brought a lot of stuff.
She did.
Right?
Well, Alice packed her a lot of stuff.
Well, Alice packed her very little clothing, but she bought she had like pads with her. Remember?
Yeah, tampons.
Yeah, and, so I think they were supposed to stay there for a lot longer.
I know.
That's what in my head at least.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. 'Cause she had like 3 suitcases.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Edward. He had like a duffel bag. She's got like 3 suitcases full.
And he's the one that doesn't sleep.
I know, right?
You think that he'd need more entertainment than just like...
I know.
I mean, they kept themselves entertained,
Ooh,
but...
she couldn't wait. That's how we got into the whole birth. Stupid.
I know.
But the entirety of the book's events barely even span 2 years. So from the time she...
All the books?
All of it. The whole timeline of Twilight. From the time she moves to the battle with the Volturi is 2 years. Just under. Because it happens
Poor
New
Charlie.
Year's Eve. I know.
I can only think about poor Charlie.
Right? Well, and think about it. Okay. So Jacob phases in front of Charlie. Okay. And doesn't say that vampires are real, but tells him something funny's going on.
Yeah.
Charlie shows up to see this baby that obviously looks like Bella. He knows it looks like Bella. Then they do Christmas, and she's
a toddler?
A full-grown child?
Yeah.
And he doesn't question it at all. He just goes with it. He's like, yeah.
I wonder if Jacob just like pulls him to the side, like in secret, and he's like, hey, yo, this is what's going on.
Right?
But I mean,
I don't know.
It's not explicitly said.
It's not.
But like, who would not question? That's my thing.
I would.
I mean, maybe if you love your daughter that much, which he obviously does. That man loved his daughter.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, I know that my dad, he would be like, what is going on?
Yeah, I would get pulled aside and be like, excuse me, that was a baby, like still on the bottle, and now she's speaking.
Well, not only, but didn't they say that they adopted?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
cousin or something?
Yeah, like this adopted what child is now, they switch them out or something like that? That's what dad would be like, did you like switch out the kid?
Yeah, right? I don't know. It drives me nuts. I hate that they don't address it.
I don't know. 2 years.
2 years. Just
I mean, a lot can happen in 2 years, but that's a lot.
I know. I know.
Not to mention the fact in the movies that didn't they announce that they were getting married like during high school?
Yeah,
wasn't it before graduation? Because everyone was like, she's pregnant.
Yeah, because they got married right after. Edward told Bella he wouldn't marry her until after she graduated high school.
And she was like, okay, we're graduated, let's go. Yeah,
it was like the next day. She was like, all right. And then he was like, well, I'm not changing you until we're married and you graduated. So on their honeymoon, that's when he was supposed to change her. Was the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Because when they get
back, later she was like, I don't really want to be writhing in pain on my honeymoon. So then they opted to do it after.
I think that's why they were supposed to be there for so long. Is because they were supposed to enjoy, and he was supposed to change her. She was supposed to be in her pain, whatever, on that lonely ass island, and then come back, and she was going to be a vampire. Which also, I kind of dig that. I'm down with that.
Okay, but it kind of makes sense because there was no people on that island.
That's why.
So in order to be a new vampire, she would have to be without other people to get used to.
Well, like, what is she sucking?
Whatever you want to call it.
What?
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
What is she eating though? Fish? Like she's drinking the blood out of fish.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Is he fetching squirrels for her? Like
raccoons?
Yeah. What is happening?
What's on that island?
I know.
Birds?
It wasn't that big. Birds. Yeah. A whale?
Seagulls?
I don't know.
Seagulls? Yeah. I mean, they could technically. I mean, they're dead, so they could go under the water.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the newborn battle happens. They come up out of the water, which, by the way, they go from Seattle to Portland through the water. Or from Seattle to Forks through the water. And I'm like, where? Look at a map, okay? Doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to pull up a map right now. I'm going to draw a line.
And they go all
They have to go. Well, I mean, depending, because they wouldn't have been able to go through La Push because that's where the werewolves were.
Oh, I guess the boundary line, you're right.
So they probably had to, because Seattle, I think the only place that would make sense was through the San Juans. They would just have to literally just bounce that little way.
I don't know. Stupid either way. Because they emerge from the water all creepy, like with their red eyes. And I'm like, Seattle's like right there. I don't know. And I guess they don't want to go inland because then because they're newborn.
Because I mean, if they went through La Push, that means that they would be in werewolf territory. So they couldn't have gone all the way around. They must have just gone through the San Juans.
I guess. I don't know.
And ran the rest of the way? I don't freaking know. We're getting way too late.
We are. This is becoming too much. But this is what it's supposed to be about. This is why we're talking about this.
We have to make it make sense.
It never will.
No.
It never will.
No.
Okay. So I have something else I want to know. I have a list of all of the major characters in Twilight and their backstory.
Ooh. Okay.
You want to go over
so like
that,
like the vampire's backstory or like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it starts off with Bella. Disgusting. I literally hate Bella.
we hate her.
Yeah.
I'm a girl's girl, but like
not Bella. Rosalie now?
Oh
yes.
Rosalie and Alice, they are these. Well, Rosalie isn't sweet, but she has a reason. She has a very good reason.
She does.
I think deep down she is.
Yeah. So then it starts off with Edward.
Wait, I thought we were starting with Bella first. I mean,
we
technically
know
already.
About Bella.
Yeah,
we know her backstory.
Fair enough.
It's literally Twilight. So then we go to Edward. Also, it classifies him as Bella's primary love interest. I think that's funny. Primary, like insinuating that there's another one. But that's besides.
I mean, she was flirting with Jacob hardcore.
I get, but it was Renesmee, remember? Nessie?
Yeah, but that doesn't excuse her attitude towards him.
I guess. Well, no, because he says it was Nessie all along.
Yes. But again, that doesn't excuse her, like Bella's actions towards Jacob.
Like her flirting with him and
yes.
stuff? Right. Well, that stems from like her want for him, and it's insinuated that it was Renesmee the entire time. That's why Bella was feeling those feelings towards him.
I think she just
really wanted Anyway. Apparently Edward's in the body of a 17-year-old. BTW. He died at 17. And I'm like, that's awkward. Hate that.
Oh man, if I had died at 17 and I looked like... No, actually, I looked great at 17. I was thin compared to what I was.
That's fair. I was pretty good. Yeah. I would die at 17. Well, and that's what I'm wondering. Edward looks like a full-grown man. But if he stopped aging at 17...
He looked fine as heck at 17 years old.
I don't know. Anyway, he was dying of Spanish influenza. And that's when he changed. Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I guess he did change him in the hospital, huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also, the Cullens are known as the Olympic Coven, and I think that's great.
It's because they're from Olympia.
I know, and I think it's great.
That is amazing. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Here it says in this Wikipedia, it says Edward knows that he could kill Bella easily, a fact that torments him so much. In the book New Moon, he decides to leave Forks with his family.
Well, no, she's like literally the most helpless main character probably ever written about.
She's
not a good main character, I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's horrible to her father.
Mm-hmm.
She's horrible to the people around her. She isn't a good mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways.
So, moving on, we have Carlisle. Ugh, I love that man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, he was born at some point during the 1640s in London to an Anglican priest. His dad was a priest.
Ooh.
Yeah. His father and other pastors hunted witches, werewolves, and vampires.
Oh, shoot.
So, like, he's been surrounded by his whole life for this.
Okay.
So, following his father, he discovered a coven of vampires, and they attacked him.
What's his face? What's his face?
I'm pretty sure it was.
What is his face?
I'm forgetting. Arrow? I've heard it's pronounced both ways in the movie.
I don't know. I'll put it up on the screen.
Volturi.
Yeah, the Volturi. Yeah.
It's Arrow. This is the main guy.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he gets attacked.
Do you think it's all them?
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, wasn't he a part of the Volturi for a long time?
I'm pretty sure that's why he became a part. Is because they changed him.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Okay.
So... Anyway, he fled and silently endured the transformation. Poor Carlisle. He just ran off into the woods.
So he got attacked.
Yeah. And then
suffered through the change.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. In the woods by himself.
Mm-hmm. And he attempted to off himself. Yeah. And then didn't realize that, he realized that wasn't going to work.
Right.
So then he discovered he could feed off of animals instead of people.
Oh, so he'd been doing it for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he dedicated himself to becoming a doctor and helping humans.
Aww.
Mm-hmm. And he did live with the Volturi in Italy, but left because of their incompatible feeding styles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he was treating patients suffering from Spanish influenza when he met Edward.
So was Edward the first one that he changed?
I think so.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So him and Edward have been buddies for a while.
Yeah.
But actually no, but Edward went off and did his own thing, remember?
He did. And that's when Carlisle, I'm reading now, that's when Carlisle met Esme. And then she attempted to off herself. That's how he was helping her. She attempted to off herself.
Really?
And he saved her and turned her into a vampire and fell in love with her.
In the movies, she was just in a hospital.
Mm-hmm. That's why.
Ooh.
And so he fell in love with her and turned her into a vampire, and that would
suck.
Yeah, that would suck.
That would suck. You tried, and then now you have to live forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Right? And so after he changed Esme, he found Rosalie after her drunken fiance and his friends nearly beat her to death. And
wasn't she
changed her?
Wasn't she and then beaten?
I think so. I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't say that, but yeah. And then they found Emmett, who had been mauled by a bear. Actually, Rosalie found Emmett, who had been mauled by a bear, and carried him to Carlisle, begged him to change him for her, and he did.
And then he ended up with somebody. No. Hold on. No, that's right.
Yeah.
Because Emmett was the bigger guy.
Yeah.
And then, what's his face?
Jasper wasn't changed by Carlisle, and neither was Alice.
That's right.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. But that's all of them. And then they moved to Hoquiam, and they lived in Hoquiam.
What was it?
Forks.
I thought you said at one point to me that Emmett was actually for... No, Rosalie was for Edward.
Yes.
And then...
Because when... Yeah. So, it was Carlisle and Edward, and they were, like, living in a bachelor life. Mm-hmm. Edward was like, I want to go off and find myself. Carlisle found Esme and fell in love with her. And was like, I get to spend eternity with this person that I love and is my best friend. Yeah. I want that for Edward.
Right.
That's when he found Rosalie and was like, Edward and her would be perfect.
Right.
And then Edward rejected her.
Oh, shoot.
And was like, no, I don't want anybody. Right?
I would be too.
Right? All she wanted was a child, and this was her fate.
Ugh.
So when she found Emmett...
Poor woman.
Right? It's stated, I don't care, it's not in here, but somewhere I've read that when she found Emmett, all she could think about was like a helpless child. And that's what made her fall in love with him and take him to Carlisle and was like, change him, please.
That's a little weird.
I
was like, oh, but then I thought about it. Helpless child.
Yeah.
Grown man.
Right.
How old were they?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Oh. Because if he was younger, then okay, maybe, but like.
Right. Yeah.
Odd.
I know. So now moving on to Alice, who's actually, her real name is Mary Alice. Kind of like that.
Okay.
But they call her Alice. And she got adopted into the family.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was transformed by an old vampire who's not named or anything like that, who worked at the asylum. And he did that to protect her from James. Because James, remember how Bella was his blood singer? And they talked about that. That's why he was hunting her, is because he needed to have, like, taste her blood. They call it a blood singer in the movies.
Bella was Edward's blood singer?
James's. And he hunted her to the ballet studio.
Oh, the blonde one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Bella was James's blood singer, but before Bella was, Alice was. So James was hunting Alice, drove her to the insane asylum. So she was there when a vampire turned her, so to stop James from hunting her.
Shoot.
Yeah.
So that poor woman had to deal with James before even the whole thing with Bella. My thing is, the blood singing thing, I don't get it. I thought that was like, oh, this one person kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
It's crazy. And then Jasper, which we hear more about Jasper than I think any of them in the movies.
Yeah.
Which is kind of dumb, but that's beside the point.
But there was a point, and I think they made their point clear, and I think it was very tasteful in the movies.
Right.
Like, there was it wasn't just random.
Yeah, I guess. And
because he had all the bite marks, and Bella was like, oh, they're like mine.
Battle scars.
I
love it so much. That's such a fun for no reason. Whatever. So I didn't know this until reading all this, but Jasper and Rosalie share the same last name. It's Rosalie Hale and Jasper Hale, even though they have no relation.
Oh.
They have the same last name, which I thought was kind of funny.
I think she just got sloppy.
No, like, what do you mean? Oh, Stephanie Meyer? I guess. I don't know.
Why would you do that? Oh, but there's no relation. They just have the same last name.
I guess.
Think of something.
I mean, Jasper's older than her, but I guess.
I know, but like, if there's no relation, but you picked the same last name, like, come on.
Last names can be common, Mary.
I understand, but that's not a common last name.
How would you know? Were you born in 1844 like Jasper?
Girl.
It could have been.
Lazy.
Like, you're too critical sometimes. But anyway, he was
My
born
opinion.
in...
My opinion!
Fair enough. I can't.
Oh my gosh, you know that meme where it's like, that's fine. We're going to use that a lot in this. I feel like we're going to use that a lot.
I didn't even think about that, but you're so right.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was born in 1844 in Texas, in what is now Texas, which I think fits him. But in 1861 is when he joined the Confederate States Army, and then in 1863 Maria transformed him at the age of 19. So he's just technically a little bit older than Edward, which I think is crazy.
They don't tell the ages of the girls.
No, which is weird.
Lazy.
Stephanie, get it together. Yeah.
Surely there's information about that somewhere. Like, she had to have asked those questions. Surely it's been asked.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I can't find anything on it. I don't really ask because they usually make the girls so young that it's like sickening almost. Like,
That's true. I mean,
So
Bella was how old?
she was young. Was it? Well, no, she was older.
Bella was
I
18,
think.
right? Because she had her
19? Something
18th
like that.
birthday. She graduated.
Yeah,
I think she was 18.
something like that.
18
I
or
don't know.
19.
But another thing about Alice and Jasper is Alice foresaw that her and Jasper would meet and fall in love, and she got sick of waiting, so she went and found him.
Me. I would do something like that if I could see the future.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So she found him at a diner in Philadelphia, and was like, "We're meant to be together."
And
that
he's
was
probably
it.
like, "Who the hell
Yeah.
are you?"
Yeah, pretty much.
But then he was down for it.
Yeah, he's like, well, I
"Hey."
got nothing else going on. Sure, why not? So, and then
What kind of diner?
I don't know. It just is a diner.
Hmm.
So, and then of course,
what timeline? What was that? What
it
year?
doesn't say.
What?
Yeah, it just says Alice foresaw that she and Jasper would fall in love, and she found him at a diner in Philadelphia. Together, they joined the Cullen family.
Okay.
I know, stupid.
Dumb.
And then, of course, it goes into Renesmee, but I don't.
Everyone knows about that.
Hang on, it says right here, Stephanie Meyer, when asked about whether or not Jacob could father children with Renesmee, responded, "That is a question I'm reserving the right not to answer because there's a chance I'll go back to their story." I don't know how I feel about that.
It's been how long? How long has it been?
So,
What do you think? Do you think you can father children?
No, I think that's disgusting. She was literally a child, and he was like, "She's mine."
I know.
A baby.
We really, really hope that it's not possible.
Aren't they coming out with a movie though? Isn't Stephanie coming out with a movie about
That's
that?
what I've been hearing for like years now, though.
That's fair. Also, I'm just now noticing a pattern.
And honestly, do you think that what's his face would ever do that again? I don't think he would.
I think he said he would.
What?
I think he said he would.
Taylor Lautner?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said he would. Maybe it was a reunion, not like movie, but like just like a reunion, like you know, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would
for sure. What's his face? What is his face?
Edward, Robert,
yeah, and then
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, they would not. Absolutely, they would not.
No.
No
I don't think
way.
I want them to anyway.
They would probably just be at each other's throats the whole time.
They would just Bella would sit there just staring.
Freaking with her hair.
And Edward's like. So yeah, that's the backstory of majority of them. Also, Renesmee stops aging at 17. So they're all children when they stop aging. Weird, right?
Why did she pick them so young?
I don't know.
Why?
I think Carlisle's the oldest when he got turned. Honestly,
How old is he?
I don't know if it actually says his physical age is 23. Carlisle's is.
Oh, so 23.
So yeah.
He did not look 23, but
Hang on here. Esme was 16.
would you try? Ooh, oh. Also, her wig was horrendous. They gave her a 5 head. That was so mean of them to do that to that beautiful woman.
That was mean. Oh my gosh. Emmett's 20.
Oh, so there is ages.
Yeah, those two. That's it. That's all I
Oh.
can find. Rosalie, nothing. Oh, her age is 18.
Why so young?
Jasper's 19. Alice doesn't say at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand like books like that. When they're like, oh, they were 18 years old. No. Who even knows who they are at 18 years old?
Right? And then you're making them eternally that age forever.
I know. I mean, luckily they don't have to deal with like the hormones anymore, but like imagine being stuck at that age.
Right.
Forever.
I know. Trying to get a job.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense why she did it with the Cullen kids is because they had to keep going through high school over and over again.
They didn't have to. They were bored.
That's true. Fair enough. But they could, though.
Yes, they could. Ugh. Don't like it. It also says here that Carlisle's fortune is $34.5 billion. That's what she's amassed.
Checks out.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, if you live for that long.
Yeah.
Why not? My thing is, though, is that money, he had to have, they said that they had to, like, keep moving, right, around the Olympic Peninsula because they had to, like, you know, change lives and whatever.
When people started noticing they stopped dating.
Right.
Yeah.
So, did he just have a different name for each bank account? Or is he, like, Carlisle the
third?
It's going to be more than the third. Yeah, the 27th.
Carlisle Jr.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, think about the logistics of it. He would have to change all those bank accounts. He would have to change his license. He would have to go through driver's school again.
Oh, no.
Or do you think the Volturi has like a government in itself?
Well,
and they have like their own way of like messing with the system.
That's what I'm wondering, because in the last one, right before the battle with Volturi, Bella finds that note from Alice and goes to meet that guy in Seattle that gives her the passports and fake IDs for Jacob and Renesmee.
Yeah.
So
like, I think they have underground stuff going on because wasn't he a good friend of what's his face?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
And
I don't know any names.
He says, I don't know, Jasper. And then he says something, you know, like, I don't ask questions, I just fulfill.
Yeah. So they do some shady shit.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
My next question.
Could you imagine having that power, though? Like, to do that type of shady stuff? Get a fake passport like that?
No, actually. Yeah. Yeah. No, the logistics of all of it, the only thing that would make sense in my mind is that the Volturi have some kind of underground government that is able to get new IDs and get new birth certificates, get new social security number. Like, they have to have.
Sketchier than the mob. Like, I don't mess with the mob, but that is
the mob. I don't know.
So
I feel like people have made the mob so fictitious, even though it is a real thing.
I was like, it's still real.
Oh no, it's still no. Yeah, oh man.
So I've been reading this Reddit hot takes, and one thing I do want to get your opinion on. Bree, do you remember her? She was that one newborn that was like absolutely petrified, hiding behind the tree, and Esme and Carlisle found her, and they locked her anyway. Do you think she should have stayed with the Cullens, been part of their coven? What do you think on that?
I don't know. Honestly, like, no one was really attached to her. Everyone just felt bad for her. You know what I mean?
I would have too. She got taken away from her family. She got literally kidnapped.
Yeah.
And changed into a vampire and shoved into this battle to not make it.
Yeah.
Like, they knew they weren't going to make it. Victoria definitely knew that they were not. Yeah. None of those characters would live long.
No.
So.
I felt bad. Did she deserve to die? Absolutely not. Because she was like, she actually had like a heart. And she was like remorseful.
Yeah. I think it's sad.
My thing is, though, is that how did Carlisle get away with all of that, but then they let that one die? Like, they were just like, oh yeah, just kill that one. And that's my thing. Why was it okay to change Edward and Rosalie and Alice and
I wonder if it's
all of them?
He changed them and then they became a coven. They weren't starting problems. Because think about it. Victoria changed all of them and then immediately went into battle with the Cullens.
That's true.
And so it's like they were causing a problem and they were killing recklessly in Seattle. Do you remember that?
Right.
Because that's when the Volturi found them.
Yeah.
Was when they were having that spree.
Their frenzy.
Yeah, their frenzy in Seattle. And they were like, they gotta go. And Jane was like, And then.
Since she was a part of the problem, then okay. I don't know. I don't really, I guess I don't have an opinion. She didn't deserve to die, but at the same time, I get it, I guess.
I don't know. That's a hot take.
Is your butt cheeks hurting already?
No, I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm good. Oh, you asked earlier if we could change one thing about the whole books, the books and the movies, everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bella.
That was a very popular answer in the Reddit thread. Everyone says she's really annoying.
No, actually, she's just annoying. She caused all of those problems. All of it was her fault.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She really did. I can't stand her.
She was horrible to her father.
Awful to Charlie. I almost said Carlo. Ooh, wrong dad. Well, new dad.
No, awful to her father.
Awful. Yeah.
Awful to everyone around her.
And Jacob, what was that? Totally led him on. It was like,
let's
go these dirt bikes. Let's have fun. Let's hang out.
And I don't know. Just to get at Edward.
Yeah.
What a toxic relationship, by the way.
Oh, right?
Yuck.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, if I could change anything, Bella.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
Honestly, same. I hate Bella.
Yeah.
I literally hate that character. I wish we could just pluck her out of the books.
Yeah.
Also, imprinting. I don't know why that's such a thing for me. I wish I could just take it out of the books. I don't think it's necessary.
Imprinting?
Yeah. Like Jacob imprints on Renesmee.
Oh, yeah. No, that's weird.
It's too... I don't know. If it is, I feel like there should be like an age... You know, like you have to be a certain age before they can imprint on them.
Yeah.
Because...
Why'd you call it that? Why did you call it that?
I think it's a real thing. Imprinting? Isn't that literally a real thing?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just... It kind of gives me like the ick.
Yeah, it refers to a form of rapid learning that occurs during a specific period in an animal's life. Typically early on when they learn to recognize and attach to a particular stimulus, often a parent or a mother surrogate. Happens with ducks. Ducks imprint.
It happens with ducks.
That's what they said. There's literally pictures of ducks.
That is
ducks. Not crazy.
I wonder if that's like that's why like ducklings follow you.
Yeah.
If you hatch them on your own, they follow you because you're like mom.
Yes, they imprint on you the moment they hatch out of their egg.
Ugh.
So
gross.
Maybe that's what happens when they're babies. Is because like the duckling, but then you're referring to kids as ducks, and it just gets hazy from there. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like imprinting. And the way they went about it, like I'm gonna be everything she needs: a brother, a lover, loyal. Like what? Why did we start with brother then?
Was that in the movies?
I don't know. He said something along those lines.
I didn't even realize that. That's nasty.
Like he imprints on her, and then he has that weird vision where he's like running through the forest as a wolf. And it's like his voice overhead, and he's like explaining. It's how he explained it to It's how he explained it to Bella, because she asked him. She was like, "What is imprinting?" So in the like Twilight or whatever, he explains it to her, and it's like that monologue over a video of him like running through the forest as a wolf, and it's just like
really I'm gonna have to like watch like I'm gonna have to like find that or something.
Really weird. I don't like it.
Also, the fact
are they always
cringiest? The cringiest. It's all cringy, but one of the cringiest is when Jacob was like, "Where you been, Luca?" Nasty.
I love it though.
Nasty. And to all the people who are sensitive to people like that noise of throwing up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so sorry. We do that a lot.
You're gonna hate us.
Yeah,
we do that a lot.
Yeah. Someone said, "I think Bella would be a horrible mother to Renesmee when it comes to the dating aspect."
No, actually, not. She's not a good mom. She's not a good girlfriend. She's not a good. Like she just. Yeah.
Someone said she became a neglectful young mother, just like Renee, which is Bella's mom. she turned into her mother.
Isn't that exactly who she didn't want to be when she grew
Yeah.
up? Oop!
Mm-hmm.
Oop! Oh, man. How unfortunate.
Yeah. Also, I didn't like how Bella woke up a vampire. And I get, she immediately left. She had to control her hunger. Get it, respect it, love it.
Yeah.
She comes back, holds her daughter, once? And that's all we see. She's holding her, one time.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone else is holding her after that.
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, if
Give
my
me my
baby's
baby.
rapidly growing, I want to hold her as much as possible.
Exactly.
I'm never going to get to hold her again.
Exactly. Honestly, Rosalie was more of a mother to her than Bella was.
Yeah. I think that's why Bella called her, is because she was like, Rosalie would be a better fit than me. And she's not wrong.
Then maybe you should have kept it in your pants before.
Someone said this series would have been better without Alice in it. She's the worst. She never lets Bella just be Bella.
Because we don't want Bella. Who wants Bella to just be Bella?
Alice really infuriated me with the wedding thing in Eclipse.
Why? Bella didn't even want one. She just wanted to get laid.
I know. And Alice made that a dream. I would kill for that wedding.
No, actually.
Stunning.
Me too.
Amazing.
The ring, though? Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That ring.
But that one you sent me on Instagram, though,
gorgeous. Stunning.
That was good.
If I can screenshot it, I'll put it up on the screen. Oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. I saw that and I was like, she has to see this. Shelby has to see this.
I would get that. I would.
Oh, yeah. If a man got me that, I'd be like, yes, sir.
But Bella's, I'd be like, you don't know me at all.
Yeah. We had a bomb playlist, though, on the way there and back.
Did.
It was fantastic.
If you can screenshot and put up our cover for what our playlist looks like.
I would totally do that.
Creepy doll.
It's the creepy doll. Also, who in their right mind thought that was a good idea? Just put a real baby in that. Why did they get that creepy doll?
Probably because, one, budget, and two, she transformed
budget
so fast.
At that point, they were already
I know, but if they got a real baby, they'd have to have every month stages until childhood, because the baby was supposed to grow so fast.
There's so many other movies that have done that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Stephanie Meyer was like, not me.
Yeah.
All the nitty-gritty.
Everyone have a really good day. Enjoy the nice weather. It's going to get up to 102, I heard. It's in the 90s for us up here.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Thank
you for watching us just ramble about Twilight.
And we'll be back whenever, probably next Monday, next Monday after that. We haven't ironed anything out. We just decided to start and call it good.
Yeah.
So, all right. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.